Hit it, bud.
All right, so right now you're hearing some epic collegiate drum line going on. And your 10-year wait is over. And even more importantly, your, few weeks to monthish long wait to hear what I had to say about college football is finally over. Hello, my name is Luke, and this is my brother and co host, Alex.
Hey, what up, everybody? I'm a little
And
late to the
welcome.
pod. I had to finish studying for my exams.
Sure.
Uh,
Uh,
coach said if I don't bring my grades up, I can't continue to play.
Al's on double secret probation, double duty secret probation. What is that from Animal House? Doesn't matter. Double secret probation, but he's gonna make it. He's on the road to glory, and we are Low Five Gaming. How you doing today, buddy?
Oh, pretty good. I even cracked this beer just because I figure if we're talking college football, we might as well be drinking a beer, right?
It's way too fancy for a college beer, though. I had a Miller Lite earlier today, so I'm a little bit
That's
more
true.
on brand with a college lifestyle. What type of boozy shit is that?
Roll it back, roll it back. Let me get this keg, tap this keg to a keg stand. Let's go.
Alrighty
uh,
to start on a tangent, but in
we
Al's
are not
actual
we are
college
not in
days,
our unsanctioned sponsor spot, but this beer is from Voyager Brewing Company, based out of Grand Marais, Minnesota. Very niche
fuck yeah.
content here for y'all in the north of Minnesota.
What are we sipping on? What is it?
Yes, but it is the Gun Whale Bobber. It's a hazy India Pale Ale.
Yeah. Al was a
Mm.
big rugby boy, aka frat kid in college, partying his brains out. And you bought the most obscure game I think I've played to this day in the more modern era, which was
Rugby?
rugby. It was like rugby 2008 or something, and that was something.
The
So,
game's tight, dude. I played it recently.
um, really, like on an
Yeah.
emulation?
No,
That's
I've got it
awesome.
still on the PS2.
That's cool. I kind of miss when EA would take a shot, but here we are. We are back. College
Yes,
football is
sir.
back. If you are a fan of the show, you know that NCAA 14 is one of my favorite
Mm.
games of all time. And we've been playing this since we were little kids. Do you have any, to start us off, you got any nostalgia stories to kick us with, or should I lead us to one warm Christmas morning?
I do not have NCAA football 2014. We didn't that would have 2014, I suppose you playing that on PS3?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but PS2
College.
back in the day, dude, check that out. This is where it all started. So when you say nostalgia, I have NCAA football in my hand. I have NCAA football 2003 and NCAA football 2004. I'm not sure
One
when
of
they started this
those,
game.
one of those you bought, and it was really cool. And then the
Well,
other one,
2003 is from Blockbuster, yo. It's got a
hell yeah.
Blockbuster tag.
So double nostalgia.
Check this. I open that
You,
up, dude. Fucking booklets. I miss
yeah,
booklets, bro.
yes, physical media. But you were in high school during that time, right?
2003 would have been, yeah, my senior into, yeah, senior year. So I graduated in '04.
So you bought one of those, and then the other one I know I got for Christmas morning in Florida.
Oh, yeah. Well, then
Yeah,
2004 would have been the
that's
one.
a that's the random memory I have of it, and I loved it so
You can't
deeply.
have it back, bro. It stays with me.
That's okay. I don't have anything to play it on. But I remember it so deeply because I was a big Lawrence Maroney and Marion Barber III Gophers
Mm,
fan
yeah,
back in the
yeah.
day. This is pretty much one of, if not their only glory days in like the last 30 years. So it's got this sweet spot for me. And although I was a big Madden kid, this little pocket, I was really into it. So I always liked the game. At the time, I could tell it was different. I
Run the
loved all the
option.
college. Yep, dude, I love option shit so hard. You can do that more so in modern Maddens, but not to this
Right.
degree.
Well,
I
college
loved all the
playbooks.
college fight songs. Dude, you could do the mascot games where you was like you were
Yeah.
playing as 11 Gophers versus like 11 Spartans. And like that's the dumb shit as a kid I just loved. So like I've
Hmm.
always loved this game.
So, I mean,
Do
like
you
a lot of
remember?
the games of the time, it was a bit broken. So there's like just like Madden of the same era. You play slot, you throw slot cross, you're gonna get a touchdown like 90% of the time, right? So this was very similar with the NCAA games. Like there's a few plays I figured out that like pretty broken. I don't remember who the quarterback would have been, but in this era, we were given numbers and not names, even though they corresponded with kind of quarter. That's why the EA got in hot water, right? Because some of the stats were like matching up or some bullshit in the numbers.
The players they would have like their physical specifications pretty locked on with let's
Right.
say you were Johnny Manziel at a university at Texas A&M
Yep.
2014. He was from whatever they named the guy. He was from the same hometown. He had
Okay.
the same height. It was like it was pretty egregious and it was stupid, but you couldn't pay college athletes. They did not
Not
have
legally distinct.
no, you didn't have name, image, and likeness.
Right.
So the cover athlete would always be some guy that just graduated from college. It was kind of funny.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and
I bring it up though because whoever was quarterbacking for the Gophers at that time, which obviously the hometown team, that's who I was playing as most of the time. I think I
same.
did some seasons as like the Oregon Ducks, that kind of bullshit because they're damn good at the time. But anyways, the quarterback could run, dude, and like that's how this game was broken. Not only was like the option nice, not only would you find a few cool plays, but if you had a quarterback that could run fast, dude, you just drop out of the pocket and just hit that gap, dude, like touchdown almost every time.
No, as a kid, I would play as the Gophers too. Our dad worked there as well, and but neither of us attended. Fuck them.
Well, I
And
did my graduate studies there. But
sure,
yeah, I'm a
where's that degree? You want
red
to hold
shirt
up to?
football.
Yeah, Al's like, I'm a red shirt senior. I'm coming back. I would play Marion Barber the third. I'd switch him from running back to quarterback, and then I'd run the Hail Mary and then just run out of the pocket and cheese it. But I was also a
Exactly.
child playing on easy settings.
Talk. Yeah.
Um, Great game though. So they finally got sued. EA, took it down, and it's just been this gap for a good 10 years. I would say that the fan base has generally been like foaming at the mouth for this game.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a few games out there where you just have people just ravenous, and this was one of them. And in the past podcasts, we've talked a lot about how Madden is stale, Madden needs competition, and this is still from EA, but it does, in my opinion, offer a nice alternative. I mean, it's only going to make extra money for EA, but at least there's going to be some sort of competition. There's something new. So if you're a big football fan, unfortunately, we've discussed my football Madden gaming hours that are shameful. I have already reached some pretty peak gross numbers in
Dude, it wouldn't be
football
shameful if you like
25.
competed or like did some sort of tournaments or some shit, but you just doing it for your pleasure, which is that's cool,
Dude,
that's valid.
if you even watch like a YouTuber on it, my nephews, it's pretty funny. They're like going into the fifth grade, and a lot of times I'm like, what would I have been like at that age? And these kids are like pretty nerdy, and they're like watching these NCAA streams. They're like, can we play as this guy on this team that they have a receiver and he's like a 98 speed? And I'm like, the things they watch on the YouTubes and the different medias, it's hilarious. So like it's got a pretty huge cultural pull.
Right on.
It's doing quite well right now.
Yeah, it came
And
out
we
a
just
little like I don't know, like little when it first dropped. There was some discourse out there that it wasn't the game that people wanted, but I think overall I've
oh
seen pretty positive reactions to this game.
yeah, so I guess we can get into that right away. I'll just think of this in tiers. I think if you think of like a general audience, you're gonna see probably someone liking this game from like a 7 to 8 out of 10. And I think that's like kind of where the critical reviews kind of came in.
Sure.
It's a different game than Madden. It's built in the same Frostbite engine. There's a lot borrowed from Madden, but it is a different team. There are different physics, and it plays differently. And I think that's really, really cool. I think they did a really good job with the gameplay. There's some jank. There's definitely some jank. Madden has a higher level of polish, which is not saying too much, but
I mean, they've been
Madden,
polishing year over year for the last
yeah,
10 years or
I
for
mean,
longer than that. But like the
Madden gets
EA's
shit
or not
on.
EA, but NCAA has been out of the. I'm surprised why. I don't know. I guess I know why, but like if they're making both the
Well,
games, like I'm surprised there's not. I'm surprised they're not more similar, if that makes sense. I don't have anything to base it off of because I have
the
played so little Madden.
distinctness is actually a good thing though. So like
Yeah, of
it
course, of course.
feels different. But and then when you get into like the sicko range, which is I'm like on the doorstep of sicko range, that's when like you get onto like if you're a peaceful person, you probably shouldn't be on Reddit anyway. But if you are on Reddit and you just are following nice subs, God bless you. A lot of my video game subs are such like fun, peaceful places. But I thought the Madden sub was the most toxic one I
Mm,
generally followed.
this one pretty bad.
NCAA has taken that by far. And it's that fervent fan base I'm talking about of people
Yeah.
who just had pie in the sky. They delayed this game by like a year. Like they could
Mm,
have released it last year, but they wanted to make it good and all these things. So they overpromised and underdelivered to some degree. I think that
sure.
is fair. Features that were common in the discs that you held up, like 03, 04, are not
Hmm.
in games anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's like
yeah.
hilarious, man. Like stuff like if you're in a dynasty, which I play,
Hmm.
they don't like, there's nowhere that tells you who won the championship every year.
Oh, really? I didn't really notice that.
So like dudes
I've only played one
online,
through one season though.
so dudes online, like the sickos I be speaking of, they like keep notes in notebooks for like their team's stats because there's nothing to tell your like team
Oh,
stats
really?
after a few years. So it's
That's kind of
like
a bummer.
it is, and I agree with those people, but like I get onto Reddit and like every day it's just someone like crying, like typing out paragraphs, and I'm like, y'all should have like really get some other hobbies that make you
Yeah.
happy. Because I
But what
live with the
it's
flaws. I live with the flaws because I still think it's sick. Like I'm still
yeah.
really happy with the game. I can tell you about some of the stuff I really like, but like these people are like, oh my God. So
Well, for
you're
what it's
getting
worth, the Metascore on Metacritic.com it's got an 85, which is pretty good, dude. That's considered a
that's
pretty
actually
pretty good
very
game.
good. Yeah.
Right. So
Like
that's
nine is
that's
supposed to be a masterpiece. So eight is supposed to be like great. You know what I mean?
right. So 85, that's pretty darn good. And then you have the user score though is mixed or average. It's a 5.9.
I like to think fondly of like the early 2000s when EA's like reputation was just pristine. I mean, like Madden was on top of the world. The NCAA games are really popular. NBA Live had yet to
Mm-hmm.
crash. But even more so like EA Big, like SSX
Rugby.
Tricky,
That
Rugby. SSX Tricky though.
shit was
Like
tight, yeah, for
pretty
sure.
sure they were making a skateboarding game. I could be wrong on that. They might have made Skate. Could be wrong on that. Doesn't matter. And now, like, ever since like they used to get the voted as like everyone's most hated company for like all the Star Wars stuff, like the Battlefront games and all like the loot box shit. And it's
For
like
sure.
they're
Yeah, it is
making
too big,
money.
man. They're just trying to make that money.
Yeah, and like so it's one of those things where it's like I will continue to play this game. I probably won't buy Madden. I'll probably just play this game pretty steady forever and ever.
Oh,
I'll probably
get out of
buy it
here.
next year. I'll probably buy it
Yeah,
next year.
you can transfer your
And
teams. Can't you transfer your like shit into Madden though? Isn't that like a big part of it?
I'm sure there's some small stuff.
I
I
think
had a
I
good
think that's
laugh.
something, dude. Because the
Sometimes
game even
like
has a discount. It's got a discount for the new Madden game. Like they're like,
yeah, no, they've been trying to sell them at pair.
dude, I
And
can't. Like,
like
see, that shit bugs me though. If I'm in game, like in a game that I just bought, I don't want an ad for your next game. Like that's ridiculous.
brother, what's worse is
Granted,
when you boot the Xbox and you get a full screen ad before you can do anything to buy one of Microsoft's properties, and then you go into your game that you spent $70 on, and they're like full page ad,
dog.
buy our other game. I'm like, what
I
are
know.
where like what? Where
It's
do we
wild,
live? What
dude.
world do we live in?
This is maybe getting too far ahead, but it's on the same topic of sorts. Okay, do you enjoy the fact that during the game it'll be like presented by Discover, like because of the realism of it, or is that annoying to you? Because to me, I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it, like sponsorship and shit. Yeah, that's a real life thing, but like in the game, like when I see like the halftime show or whatever it is presented by Discover, like credit card, I'm like, fuck you, Discover. You should have just bought this game for me then.
So there is that. I think it's hilarious because sometimes they use fake ads, like they make up companies that
I
are
didn't
like
notice that.
in the stadium. That's like something MLB The Show has done and stuff like that. But they
Okay.
have real ones too.
Right.
Yes, I remember that first happening in 2K, and there's just Gatorade everywhere,
Yeah. I
and I
have to
was like,
imagine that like they're taking a chunk of cash from those
oh yeah,
companies, right?
oh
So
yeah. They had like your my career like story mode, and your like buddies like, hey man, hand me a Gatorade. And they're like, yeah, you know my favorite color, like orange. And I was like, this is gross, dude.
that's wild.
But I mean, that's what life is, man. There's been talks, like the conferences. Easiest example for us is Midwest boys is like Big Ten,
Mhm.
which now includes UCLA, USC, and Oregon. If you didn't know, so that makes
Yeah.
sense, right? Um, there's been talks that like a conference might take on a like sponsorship. So
Oh,
it'll be
really?
like Tostitos Big 12
Yeah.
because there's
That's
no like
well, they already have
absolute
like the Fiesta Bowl and all that kind of shit. They're already
right,
sponsoring the bowls.
which was fine.
Yeah, for the bowls. Like,
But
well, I don't know,
like,
whatever.
yeah,
Oh, a conference though, that's wild.
dude, what's a conference anymore? So like, this isn't
Yeah, I
a sports
suppose.
pod. We talk about sports from time to time, but like, capitalism and college athletics are just further bastardized every day. So, do I like the ads in the game? Dude, I live in a dystopia. I can't wait until we have to pay for sleep premium where we
Right.
don't get fed sleep ads. So some other like goofy stuff, like people are freaking out about like the simulation logic. Like, you know how
Okay.
they make up random FCS schools that you play?
Yeah.
So they're made up schools. They would like beat Alabama in like week two.
So just
Like,
got a dumb AI or whatever.
yeah, so like your number one ranked team would be like a four loss Alabama, and then right
Mhm.
behind them would be like a one loss team. And so there's like people freak out about that one on the internet. I don't care. I see
I
some
wonder if
wonky
that kind of shit
stuff.
will get like patched out, or if
There
they just let it
has
roll.
been there has been one big patch.
Okay.
It accidentally broke some other stuff.
Of course.
And it's just like, yeah, so it's just like more. My biggest gripe, I'll get this out of the way before I'll just explain how much I do love some stuff. One of my, so as a college kid, my favorite thing to do is build a program.
Mhm.
And I'd play as the Gophers all the time. And I've built the Gophers up into champions enough time where I have zero interest in doing that anymore.
Dude, I
Fuck
haven't
'em.
played this game since what, 2004, I said. And
Yeah.
like, so that's like, what the fuck, man? That's 20 years.
Yeah, no, you're allowed. I didn't say you couldn't. I'm just saying after 10 years,
No,
I
no, no,
didn't
no, no.
daydream.
I bring it up though because like even after I'm doing the dynasty as well because I'm locked out of some of the other stuff because I don't pay for Xboxes like online shit anymore.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of whack. But I mean it's because you can do like some stuff with your friends or whatever. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I would assume it is. I don't know. I can't do it. And then it's like
Yeah.
other than
It's
that,
more
it's
of
like
the ultimate
exhibition, right?
team. They want you buying cards and they want you doing
Yeah.
shit like that. Yeah.
So, but I'm doing the dynasty thing, and it's fun. I've started to figure out the recruiting a little bit, and that's what I did enjoy about these other games. Like the recruitment
Dude,
process is pretty cool.
the
Like the
recruiting,
building the dynasty stuff that you're talking about is pretty dope.
my lizard
Um,
brain, it
dude,
just scratches my lizard
I'll
brain,
be
dude.
interested to
It's
get into a little bit with that because we haven't like discussed it too much. I've like been plugging away and kind of figuring it out on my own, but I'm not like feeling like I'm doing a super good job. And I've only done one season as Minnesota Golden Gophers. And I bring this up because you're saying how you have like no time to like continue to build out that dynasty. And I played probably full games. I played throughout probably I would say half the season. And then I started doing the moments. It allows you to play just the
sure.
moments of the game or whatever, which
Yeah.
is like because I ended up being like you say with the lizard brain and building out and like doing the recruiting, like I was getting more fulfillment out of like trying to push that process through than
Mhm.
the actual like game of football.
Yeah.
But
That's
like
common.
playing the moments though kind of fixed that for me because like instead of like putting all this time into a because football game's a long game, dude, and like I don't
Mhm.
know, and it's fun. Like don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like I played football way back in the day when I was a kid. Like football's cool. I loved watching like football and shit, whatever.
This is an American podcast. I'd like to apologize to anybody who thinks that Alex was tiptoeing around saying football wasn't king. Continue.
Yeah, for real. But the thing is like, whereas I can like, dude, I can tear through, I don't know, 4 games of 2K and like be happy and be like, whatever. It's like 4 games of football. I'm like, it's like long. It's like a little taxing.
Yeah. So there's some things. I when I want to get through a game faster, I do all offense instead of key moments.
Okay, but that's fair. But my like when I play defense, I only play as the defensive tackle, or
Correct.
and so like
Occasionally a D
uh
end.
or the DN sometimes too, but usually just the defensive tackle and like the dude. Shit, it sucks because he's got an actual name, it's a real person, and shit. I guess, but I don't remember his name right now. But he's killing it, dude. He's killing it for the Gophers. Like fucking,
Hell yeah.
it's fun.
Get him. No, so my whole thing is I take one of the shittiest schools in the nation and I
Yep.
try to build them up. But even before I get them to like the tippity top, I usually try to take like a different job offer and then I try to climb the ladder.
Mm.
Uh,
Mhm.
for a while, I was really frustrated and I was Googling it, like, hey, what's going on? And then just a flood of Reddit posts came in of people just freaking out about it. So I was like, okay, I'm not alone. Uh, you get no offers.
Dude, I got a solid offer right off the bat, but it's interesting how that process works because, and that's another thing that I thought was a little weird about this is that in the off season, it's a little clunky in like letting you know, like because you go week to week, right? So you advance week by
Yeah.
week, and then it's like, okay, so I have job offers on the first week of the off season, or no, it was like right before the bowl games that I was
This
going
is before
into,
the bowl games and the playoffs. Yeah.
and they don't like carry over. You have to decide like if you're going to sign a
No, they'll
contract
hire
then.
somebody. Yeah. Who offered you?
Yeah.
And was it for a coordinator or a head coach?
So both, but the good offers were in the Big Ten. Can't remember call who it was. It was like a solid team though, but they're on par with the Gophers. Like it might have been. Oh, it was a Michigan State or the Wolverines.
Dog, if you turn down Michigan, you're dead to me.
Hate Michigan so much, dude. Like fuck them. Like
It's like your
sorry,
favorite
sorry to my
college
friends,
basketball team.
dude. Sorry. No, it's not.
It's
That's
like,
Aaron.
oh yeah, I
Uh,
thought you were a Fab Five guy too.
okay. No, no, that's dude. I'm old, but I'm not that old.
Fair.
Although I did get to go to some of those games because a coworker of Dad's would hook Dad up with the tickets because he knew that Aaron loved the Fab Five. So like that carried on over to me, where every once in a while I get to go to the Gopher games with Dad
Hell
because the
yeah.
dude would hook up those tickets. So I got some nice seats to watch that. But I'm talking about Michigan State. Like the Wolverines are fine, dude, and I'm pretty sure it was Michigan State that offered me the job, and they're whack,
Yeah.
dude. And the reason I hate them is one, we have some pretty good rivalry matches in real life. And two, like when I was like also hanging out with Dad, and I would do that parade thing that like
Homecoming football. Let's go. That was
yeah,
sick. Yeah.
dude. A lot of times we would play Michigan State, and like
I
so it
also
was
had it,
like
but we pounded them. It was tight.
well, so see, well, there's that too, but it was just like the visceral hate that because I was in college at the time. I was like, I don't know exactly how, probably high school or whatever.
Man,
But dude, the visceral hate
I'm
that the college kids had for this team, and I was like, okay, I guess I gotta hate Michigan State.
that's crazy. Well, I'm
And
gonna
it was
get
just
through
drunk
two.
kids. It was just like drunk kids like doing
Yeah.
homecoming. So I don't
I'm gonna
remember
tell two
actually.
stories now then. So one, to finish my thought, I took the University of Ohio Akron Zips because I thought their name being the Zips is
That
hilarious.
is clowning.
I took them to a national championship, and the best job offer I got in 4 years was Iowa State.
Oh
So I coach Iowa State now. So I'm the first person in history that would ever win a championship and then move on to Iowa State. So that's been frustrating. And then since I've been to Iowa State, my best job offer was like Oregon State, which was once again it was on par, and I was like,
so like
man,
not even the Hawkeyes. Like what is Iowa State?
Iowa State's the Cyclones.
That's so whack.
Well, they're in the Big 12. They had better facilities, better academic prestige. So it was a step up from the Zips.
I suppose you
Um,
started as the Zips or whatever. So
so
there's
it's
that.
it's super frustrating. And like I've been reading online, like people are like, dude, I've been like stuck at this job forever. Like no one ever offers you. So like hopefully EA does tinker that because like
Yeah.
it's so funny because
I
people
mean,
like
that's like the
commenting.
biggest carrot, right? Like, I mean, unless you want to just
Well,
build a dynasty and stay
people
there.
people commenting below are like, just start a dynasty as the team you want to get to, and they're like, that's not the fucking point. I
Yeah,
want to
fair
fucking
enough.
create my, and I'm actually that nerd too. I
Well,
just want
dude,
to tell a
that's like
homecoming
they
story
don't.
now.
Can you do a create a? I don't even know. You do a create a player. Or, I know you
There's
create a
a
coach
there's
when
a
you start
road
the
to
dynasty,
glory.
right? Okay, so I'm not
Yeah,
playing road to because fuck that shit. Like that's like we were talking about earlier. I mean, like kudos to
doing
you if that's your thing.
classes.
But
It's
like
fun,
yeah,
especially
I
for
prefer
kids.
like yeah, totally. But I prefer like the dynasty, but like
I got to
dynasty
get out there
in
and
this.
recruit, brother. I got to get out there and
Well, that's
recruit.
just it, right? And then like so you actually make your coach in this. So like if they're gonna have you do a coach builder, like then you're like
Talk.
mentally
Let's talk
already gonna
about
be
let's talk about the coach builder when you can choose between a polo or a long sleeve t-shirt. Get
what you
the
wearing?
fuck.
What you wearing?
I think it's the long sleeve.
Oh, I went long sleeve for sure. That polo looked
I
whack.
made him
I was like, dude,
400
he already
pounds.
looked nerdy. You
I
did. You
made
made
him
him.
four. I made him fat.
My guy looked
Uh,
kind of like me, so he's a 400 pound fat. No, I'm just kidding. But
no,
but he
so
got
I
the glasses.
just
He looked so young though. I'm like, oh shit, I'm an old man. Like the fucking coach in this game looked younger than me.
dang. So like I have all these schools like Florida State has fired like three coaches since I've been
Right.
playing, and I'm like, dog, let me be your coach. And like,
Because can you petition schools like because they have the job
no,
board?
dude. No,
Oh,
dude. It's just whether or not they're interested, you can have it, but no one's
mm.
ever. So that's infuriating. A quick aside on homecoming parades. One that was dope. Two, one year we were behind the full throttle truck, and those guys gave me like four full throttle energy drinks. So loyal for life. Let's go. And three, one year I went with dad, and this guy was just hammered in line, and I'm like getting a little sody or some popcorn or something. I'm like eight, and we bump into the guy, and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, man." He like looks at dad and me. He goes, "Oh, you here with your son?" And I'm like, "Dad's like, yep, it's pretty cool." And the guy just goes, "I'm gonna be a dad."
Nice.
Pregnant pause, pun not intended. And then dad goes, "Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations." The guy goes, "No, it sucks.
Oh
Fucking
no.
fucking sucks balls." Like goes back to drinking, and dad and I just died. I'm
Oh,
like
that's
8.
wild.
This is the funniest moment of my life. So to that man and his child, who's probably 20 years old now,
Yeah, I suppose.
I hope your dad turned it around and is doing, I hope you're
Figured
a
it out.
fan of the pod, man. Uh,
That's wild.
so the recruiting is good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Is
You
that
know,
do okay?
I'll just let me
So
finish my thought.
okay.
Team building in Madden is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Football, I like football games over basketball games because in 2K, the games, they might go quick and be fun, but like an 80
Right.
something game season, and like the rookies aren't very
Well,
fun to play with. It's
I
like
cut
your
down on my
players.
seasons to like 24, but whatever.
I feel you, but like the team building aspect isn't very rewarding.
Nah.
Nothing's better than team building in NCAA because it's like
So that's the beauty of it is because it's
always
college,
new.
right? So it's like,
Yeah.
and you always have an influx of well, I mean, I guess the NBA does too, but like it's you got 4 5 years with red shirts or whatever. So like, there's going to be that built-in cycle, which like that's the cool part about it is like, and that what makes the that whole dynasty aspect of this game so fun.
Yeah, and I didn't actually teach him. I was familiar with him at my school. He's a gopher right now,
That's cool.
and he transferred and didn't even look at my school. So fuck you, buddy. If you ever visit the school again, we ain't talking, dog.
You talking about the
should
game?
Yeah, dog. He
Yeah,
transferred.
fucking transfer portal, dude.
He hit the transfer portal and he didn't even want to go to the Zips. And I was like, I'm building the gram over here, dude. This is a program, dude. We're killing it.
Oh, I caught
Uh
him.
but the
So what's
gameplay is
up? This
sick. The variance is sick. Like I
is
love
pretty good.
pitches and like option stuff and I don't know.
Okay, so granted, I'm like, kind of Neanderthal. Like you got a lot of Madden under your belt, so like it took me. It was a longer ramp up period for me, and I'm still kind of shit at this game.
Game's
Uh,
awful at onboarding new players. That's like a
dude,
known gripe.
it's tough, and but the thing is, easy mode is ridiculously easy. Like I can win a game 109-0. Like that's just not fun. It's too easy. And then you go to medium, and I understand there's sliders and stuff, and you can tweak it to like maybe hit
Yeah.
the soft spot. But like you bump up to medium, dude, and I have trouble winning the game. It's like, and granted, you shouldn't have to like you shouldn't win all your games. Like it should be difficult, but like I just feel like the jump there is not. It's just not well balanced.
I played a gross amount of Madden
Right.
over the last 2, 3 years, and I had to start the game on varsity, which is the second medium, the
Right.
first medium, I should say, second overall.
Yeah.
And then once I like was a little too good for how young and not good my Akron program was, I was like, okay, let's play on All American. And then there was another
Yeah.
jump. And I've heard that the jump between Heisman and All American is just too much. So like right now I'm pretty comfortable with like I only beat the shit out of the teams once I build my program up. But
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
like catch myself in a dogfight. So like I've found some comfort in it. Once again, the online sicko community, they're losing their mind about it every day. And I'm like, just go touch some grass, brother. Like maybe
Right.
find a football and like toss it with a friend or a nephew or a niece or something. Just like get outside, you know what I'm saying? But there's and you want to hear the real capitalism kicker?
What's that?
So the tutorials and how to play the game, you know where all that's found?
No, because I didn't do any of it.
It's on the Ultimate Team.
Oh, the one I can't even play?
All of the onboarding is set up
That's
within
absurd.
Ultimate Team. So they want you first thing to go
It's
play
frustrating.
Ultimate Team. So like
Okay.
their ideal is a new player should play the game mode that requires you to occasionally put in money, or at least you're
Right.
most incentivized to. So like
Oh wait, is
I
Ultimate
think
Team,
that
which is the one? Is that the one that's online only, or is that the one that's I just haven't played?
I think it's mostly to all online and it's like the
Okay.
card opening stuff.
Yeah, which you know about me and my cards, dude. I'd probably be down with that.
Yeah. But also like, are you gonna be like, I just got Doug Flutie. Woo.
No, not at all. If it was the NBA, maybe I'd be a little bit more excited. No, NFL's
Yeah.
excited too. Like whatever, but like yeah, for college kids, so it's like probably historically like historic whatever. Who cares about the fucking semantics behind the cards in this game? But like that is
In
whack that they
theory,
put it in that section.
it is a cool, like you can get like Christian McCaffrey at like Stanford and stuff.
Okay.
And like so like ideally if you're like a college football fan, like that would be cool. But like you remember how Madden way back when, tell me about the war, Grandpa. Remember when Madden had like the little packs of cards that you just unlocked and like you
Yeah.
could use them in the game, but it was just like a fun little side
It's
thing you did.
yeah.
That's cool. Like those things are cool and fun and exciting, but like the monetization feels gross and like
Sure.
whatever.
Dude, so when you're
Um,
recruiting, that's what I
yeah.
want to know about the recruiting process. How much are you finessing, like, because you have different options on how you reach out to players. Like, I have a pretty good idea of like, or at least I know how I like to sift through like my recruits and whatnot. But once you have your pool and you're like reaching out to like folks, like, are you sending the house every time? Are you sending them texts? Are you reaching out to their families? Are you doing a little mix? Like, does any of that shit really matter? Like, I can't tell.
Yeah, it does. It's like both deep and shallow. It's a little frustrating, but it's also like if you go a little too nitty gritty, it'd be insane.
Yeah.
But essentially you have these, first of all, we didn't mention it when we were roasting the coach builder, and thank you, my lady. Just some wine drop off. It's low five late night. We might be talking meathead football, but I'd be drinking white wine. I'm a man of culture. No, the coach, we were roasting the coach builder and how stupid it is. There
Yeah.
are some RPG elements to it, which I think is fun.
Yeah. That part's kind of cool.
So, first of all, like you just go to recruiter right away. It makes it way easier. The other ones have benefits, but the recruiter is by
Oh man,
far
but
going to be
that's
the
not what
most.
I'm doing. I'm doing
What'd you do? Did you do motivator or
I
tactician?
motivator.
That's like okay, but the recruiter, just get over there. Um,
Yeah.
what the only thing I can't distinguish and they're not super clear on is like if like so you have a certain amount of allotment of they call hours, and these actions
Right.
cost hours.
I don't understand
And
how's the bank actually. Or sometimes like I have extra hours, but it'll tell me that I can't do something because I've already expended the amount of like it's
yeah.
I don't have any resources. But I have to assume that you're allotted a certain amount of hours per each
Yeah, so
recruit or
that's in the
two.
top right of like next to like where the player stats are. So like at base level, you can allot 50 hours a week to a player, but under recruiter, you can get up to like 75, 80 hours. So you can
Oh,
send the
okay.
house and reach out to friends and family.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The one thing I'm not 100% clear on is you have a progress bar of how you're recruiting a recruit.
Yep.
Sending the house will spend the most influence of everything.
Yep.
That's the best way to do it. Adding to it is good. What I can't tell is if you need to keep it on them every week.
I didn't even know you could take it off.
You can, yeah. You can
Hmm.
and you should because it doesn't always have it like crests as how effective it is. And
Interesting.
then
Okay.
once you get to know what the player's into, so like a player will be like, "Hey, it really matters to me that you have a winning program, a championship contender." Where
Right.
some players don't give a shit about that. They're just like, "Hey, I want a school with a good atmosphere." You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Go Wildcats. Go University of Arizona. Go to University of Wisconsin. Some of them they really want like academic prestige. They all kind of have a set of things. So it's kind of cool. Like sometimes like I'm trying to get a recruit, but like they're from Florida and I'm Iowa State and they're
Right.
like I want to be close to home, but I actually get a ton of sick recruits from Florida, so that's not a good example, but you get the point.
Yeah, that's cool that you
Uh
can choose your pipeline when you build up the coach. Like,
yeah,
or
my
like,
dumb ass like wanted to be realistic and chose Minnesota. What a garbage pipeline.
dude,
Like
I have mine coming in from like Georgia or something like that, or like somewhere in the South.
my assistants have like some good ones, so I
Nice.
still figured it out. But yeah, and then you do actions that get that player more and more interested in you, and then fucking
But you
Notre
can do
Dame
hard
swoops
sell and
all your
soft
fucking
sales.
yep. And that's
So
when
like you
when
can't
you know
couple
what
those with
they're
the house. At least
into.
I can't couple them with the house, and like you get to know what they're into if
You
you
have to
do a
take that
full. If you
off so
spend like their whole. Yeah.
you have to take that off so you have the
Okay.
proper allotment, and you can't bank hours, use them in a week. So your week
Hmm.
basically starts as you do all your recruiting and then you play your game
Right on.
and then you advance. So
Word.
I love it though. It's some have said it's directly compared as better than 14. They could do some tweaking, but I think it's pretty sick. You've been playing some Dynasty. Do you do the option plays? Do you do the whole
Hey,
college experience?
I'm glad you brought this up because beyond, so anybody tuning into this that's like an NCAA expert is gonna be like, "What the hell is with these boys?" Luke is our expert. I am very much a noob, even though I've probably put like 30 hours into this game, maybe a little less, maybe 20. I'm not sure. I have to look at the times. I put
You
enough.
put like 12 to 15.
Did
But
you? Are you just
we're not.
saying that, or you did you
Last
like
time
look
I
at this?
checked was like a few days ago, but don't look at mine and definitely don't say it out loud.
Okay. Well, in that case, like I bet you it's got to be 15 to 20 by now. because it's
Hmm.
the only game I've been
Hmm.
playing. Like really, like
Yeah.
there's with some exceptions, but like I've been my game time has been this game. So I still haven't figured out like, okay, you just gave me some nice knowledge about the recruiting process that I look forward to like applying some of that stuff. Still a little confused about how it all works, but like being able to take away those like send the house hours and like pivot towards some other options like makes sense. The other major thing that I don't quite understand is, well, I understand the option, but the RPO plays, the run pass or option plays, like still confuse the shit out of me. And even some of the play action plays, I'm not entirely sure if I like. I feel like play action, like I feel like I thought I figured it out, and then I feel like sometimes it just doesn't work right. It does the opposite of what I think.
I mean, sometimes you're just gonna get fucked up by the defense, and it just do be
There's
like that.
that, yeah.
Um, with the RPOs, run pass options, those Madden as like college coaches made it to the NFL. The NFL has kind of broadened. It's kind of eased the burden on some quarterbacks. That has been an ongoing trend and ongoing popularity. So like through those
Yeah.
games over the last 10 years, I've gotten pretty familiar. But like basically the long and short of it is you need to make your decision instantly. Like
Okay.
you need to look at how the defense is lined up, and then you need to immediately look at how they respond and make that decision within a second or two, or
What
else
do
you
I
get
think?
like
I'm
a
a college
penalty.
quarterback. I can't do that.
You can, but it does take some practice. What has driven me insane to no end is the fact that EA makes both of these games. And in Madden, during an option, you hand it to the quarter or the running back, or you keep it.
Yeah.
In Madden, you press A to hand it to the running back. In
Okay.
NCAA, you press
You
A to
press
hold
A to
on to it.
hold on to it, right?
So I've gotten smoked like a
I
hundred
swear, I
times.
swear. Sometimes it still does the opposite, though. Like I think,
Yeah. Sometimes the controllers are just it's just your input. Also, like I'll forever just be a PlayStation boy who gave up on PlayStation and is playing Xbox. So sometimes I'll just grip it to X and I'll throw it to the
right?
wrong thing, and I'm like,
Dude,
or I
I'll be fucking
panic,
that
just
shit
hit
up
a
too.
button. Yeah, that's brutal.
Growing up with a PlayStation, it's just like those symbols are just ingrained in my mind. And plus, we fuck with Nintendo too, so like I'm
Yeah.
always like trying to quick like remember if B or A or X or Y, or if they're like what side they're on.
Just
So
panicking.
I'll be so like I'll receiver like X will be wide open. I'll be like fuck yeah, and then I'll hit it, and then it'll be like oh shit man, like that was
Yeah,
like I went
no,
to the wrong dude.
no doubt. So I love running a pitch play on the goal line. Just oh man, it works so good.
Dude, what are the
It
plays?
feels
What they're technically passes, but you bring a receiver into motion or whatever, and then
brother. The jet sweeps,
those are
brother.
sweet, dog. They're
Dude,
overpowered.
they got nerfed. They got
Did they?
nerfed. People were writing poems on this is why I love Reddit because like it's just those sickos I made fun of, and then there's like my sweet child, the jet sweep. I miss ye. No,
Yeah.
I use those all the time, and like that's how college is. There's lots of
Right.
motions, lots of sweeps,
See,
lots of pitches,
that's what I love
options.
about this game though. And granted, like I haven't figured out the sweet spot of now that I do now that I've been doing moments or whatever, I've gone back to medium instead of easy. But like the it is regardless of like the level of difficulty, there's still explosive plays. And that's what's always been cool about NCAA football is that just like college, there's a certain element of explosiveness that I don't think happens quite as much in college because you have such an emphasis on the option or like some chicanery or whatever, and like
There's that, and there's
um
also wild variance and abilities. So like,
exactly. So like you're gonna get a DB that just is fucking slow as hell, and then you've got some
yeah,
kid that's like running. And I think this game I've actually seen online that like that is kind of broken a little bit. Where if you got some dude with like some massive speed, like he'll just burn
speed's a huge
a
thing.
safety every time.
Uh, Speed's a huge thing. Like I look for that in my recruits. Um,
You're
and like
so
when
into
I
more.
was,
I just try to like hit the top recruits that have a gem versus like the X out
oh,
gem, like
for
that kind of shit.
sure, for sure. Like I take the best I can get, but if they have like a 97 speed, like I got a little boner and I try a little
Oh
harder.
yeah, okay.
Um, but like when I was at Akron, I was playing in the MAC conference. So like I recruited so well. I was there for 4 years and I won the championship on the fourth year and then moved to Iowa the next. So like by the fourth year, I built them up to like a 90 overall program.
Pretty good. How many
Right.
stars they give you? Five
I
stars,
think it
six
was a
stars? How
four
many?
star. I think it was a 4-star school, which
That's
is
right on.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Uh, but like what had happened is that like the other max schools, like some were like to 80, some even like 82, 83 overall, but I was playing like 75, 77 overall schools, and I was just beating the dog piss out of some shit. Like, it wasn't any fun. So at least now that I'm in the Big 12, Iowa State's not a football powerhouse, but like at least like I'm playing against like
For
West
Iowa.
Virginia. Yeah, for Iowa. That's a deep cut. For just an audience of two. Um,
Hey man, it's
I'm
our
a
pod. Not
yeah, I'm at least like playing like, Oklahoma State and like West Virginia and like real football programs with some history. But God, I just want a blue blood to fucking sweep me off my feet, and I'm getting real tired of just
blue
like
chip.
it's a blue blood program.
Oh, word. Okay.
Like the blue bloods, like
Right, right, right,
I
right, right.
want an or even like a like man, I want a championship, dog. I'm a coach, dude. Come on. Come on.
Do you still haven't answered my question? So you did answer part of my question, but what's up with the RPO plays? Like I can't figure them out. So you're just saying you have to decide right away whether you're going to do.
You automatically hand off the ball. And
Okay.
basically, as a pass, you have one read. And if that one read is looking murky, you better really
Yeah.
hope that run play works well. So it kind of fools the
Okay.
defense.
So the RPOs you automatically are going to the running back for a run play, unless what
Well,
you hold A and then it goes. But like that's what I don't understand.
well, there's some where you have a receiver doing a little bubble screen, and the
See, I don't
first
even run
read
these plays because I'm like I don't understand.
they're
So I
pretty
just
fucking
don't. That's like a whole like.
they're pretty fucking sick if you have a fast quarterback and
Well,
like you
that's
know
it.
what you're
So
doing.
like, yeah.
So like this is will be visual just because this has been bothering Alex via text for a while now. So here's my quarterback, here's my receiver. He does that little dip bubble screen. I see if the cornerback follows him, it's dead.
Okay.
But then like if the cornerback follows him and the option read is crashing in, then you just hold A and then you run with the quarterback. So like you
Mm.
have three different things to think of on that play. That's why like every time before I do it, I hold R2 and I just look at who's like the read and who's the pitch or whatever, and I just like stare at it for a second. I go,
Yeah,
if
dog.
this guy does
So
this, pass, and if that guy does this, run. And then like I
yeah.
get fucked up. I run it like 6 times a game roughly, and I do it correctly like three to
Okay.
four, and I get
Well,
fucked up once or twice.
beyond my size, there's a reason I played O line. I had my assignment. I fucking did my assignment for each play, and I didn't
Sure.
have to do all this fucking reading unless like I saw like the only reading I had to do is like if the fucking like linebacker was crashing in on us and you had to fucking share a block. But dude, like
Yeah.
that's a lot.
My
That's a
my
lot for my.
advice is to favorite plays, and then
Yeah.
like because the new way of the land is to do the coach suggested,
Okay.
but sometimes the coach suggestion sucks, or you just naturally have a level of comfort with certain plays. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's 4th and 1, 3rd and 2, whatever it is, and you're like, I gotta get a few yards. Like I have to do something I'm comfortable with. Then you go over to your favorites and you fuck around.
Okay.
So
All right, on,
uh
man.
yeah, I love the game, dude. There's some things that I hate about it, but like it EA did enough, I think, for that 8 that they get. If we're talking about if I had to post a user score on something, I would not take any grievances. I would give it like a 7 or an 8. If they continue to work on stuff and like
No pod
patch
gaming, bro. We
things,
got to go to 5. So are you gonna go? Are you giving this game? Are
a
you
4.
maximizing your collegiate experience and you're going red shirt 5 years, or what's is that? What you doing 5 years red shirt, maybe?
I'm opting out, dude. I'm going to the draft because what's actually cool is
Or
like your recruits don't want to go to your school if like none of your players ever get drafted.
yeah,
So it's actually kind of nice sometimes when your players like leave early to get drafted. You're like fucking broski, 4th round. You
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
fucking know what I'm
Playtime's a
talking
big
about.
deal for a lot of those. I've noticed a lot of people
That's
playtime is a thing.
a little broken because it's like
Okay.
not even actual playtime. It's more like your depth chart. So like
Oh, okay.
I had a quarterback that said he was going to transfer all season. He's for playtime. I'm like, bitch, you're starting. But there was like another dude on the team that was better than him. So
Oh, I see.
there's like stuff. There's
So
small
you're giving it
stuff.
4 out of 5. 4 years out of 5.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
tight, dude. I'm giving it a 3. I'm doing 3.
Mm.
I think if I was better, I might give it higher. You got a softer spot for the foosball
Yeah.
games in general.
I think it's my
So there's that.
lizard brain of choice for video games. I don't think there's any doubt
But
on that.
but I see that though, and like the recruiting that they add to this, like So this game I would play over Madden all day. I'm glad I have this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think that, for me, I'm not anti Madden. Like I've dabbled in it a little bit, but it's just
Here's
not
the real
something that I'm
question,
going to
Alex.
drain a bunch of time into. Yeah.
Will you watch a college football game this year? Follow up, will you watch a non-Gopher game this year?
No.
Okay.
No, probably not.
Fair.
Like, yeah, but like, and it's like I'll probably go to a Gopher game or at least like watch one, especially if they hit a bowl. But no, for me, this game, like, I don't really, just like back in the day when they did have names attached. I think it's cool, dude. And we didn't really like go into the detail on that, but like, it's now that kids are getting paid to like, which they should be, like, for like if they're playing the sports, that kind of crap.
More importantly, a free
Um,
copy of the game. That would have been so
yeah.
cool to me as a kid in
What's the
college.
physical? What's the physical amount again? You told me
It's
this.
like
It's like
$600 or something.
$600 and a copy of the game.
You know how much beer that could buy an offensive lineman at the University of Akron?
Dude, it's a decent amount. Like these days with inflation, I don't know.
He's like, "Hey, baby girl, you see that second string quarterback? That's me."
Yeah. I do wonder how close. Like I haven't spent any time to see like how good of a job they did on like the likenesses of everybody and that kind of stuff. But I have to assume that it was, the game looks
Uh,
good. Dude, I will say my biggest qualm though is the fucking, like, you made some jokes at the head of this, but like the drumline stuff, it's too repetitive, man. Like I don't have anything against drumline, but we need some extra fucking tracks, dude.
it's my favorite meme of it's just like me after spending an hour in the recruiting screen, and it's like the dude's face, and it's a bunch of like drums and bells and things like faded in.
Dude.
I have to say
Uh
this though, I got to the user
30
generated
packs, by
stuff.
the way. You get about 30 cases of beer.
Yeah, this is 30 racks of hams. Let's go. Uh, but
Specifically of that, yeah, $20 cases.
for the U of M players, 30 racks of ham, brothers. Uh, the auto generation, the names are hilarious. I love
Mm.
when people are posting names. Someone had a Jeffrey Epstein. That's awesome.
Oh, dude, you hit me with that meme of the
George Bush,
George Bush. Yeah, that was pretty good.
5-star out of Texas. That's immaculate, dude.
That
I'd
was pretty
die if you
funny.
committed to my school. That's awesome. That's so funny. Um, I went, so it was all user generated, and the faces are user generated. But I went to Iowa State, and my quarterback was a white dude with white hair and a white beard. And my running back was an old looking white dude with a white goatee. And I was
Dude,
like,
that's wild.
what geriatric fucking backfield do I have?
Oh, that's
So
funny.
like
It's like
the
you're
auto generated shit's
fucking
silly as hell. Like you have all these college kids with like full beards and like grays, and it's just so funny, dude.
dude. So we're dude, something that I think's con I told you or I've been playing is the Gophers or whatever. I'm so tired of playing at Huntington Bank Stadium. Like it's just like not, I mean, it's like a cool stadium in real life, and compared to some of these other programs, like it's just not where I want it to be. So that's another part of my like fatigue on this thing. But the point I want to bring up here though is I respect the amount of diversity that EA has sprinkled into the crowd. Because dude, I'm just gonna be straight with folks. Like University of Minnesota got a whole bunch of white folks, like, and like I'm like, look at this, like they got some diversity in town now. I love it.
I like how cursed like the screaming fans look too. It's like Birdo, like all of a sudden their
Yeah,
mouths open. It's like Birdo. It's like, wow.
dude. So I've only played as the Gophers, so like I gotta know with the animations with your mascots, do they all do the fucking head spin thing? Like, is it the same, or is that just a Goldie thing? Like,
I think there's probably some select programs. A lot of that stuff is repetitive or
yeah.
stupid. Some of it's cool. I'm just ripping through it because I'm a
Mm,
little too lizard braining through it. But that's one of the reasons that I hated, like, even though my program was getting sick, I hated playing at Akron because, like, I
yeah.
scheduled an away game at fucking Alabama. I was like, oh my God, this is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And, like, that's why I'm trying
It
to get to, like, one of those top
right.
programs because, like,
That
I
is cool
guess,
that you can
like,
do the scheduling and stuff like that. I appreciate it. That's a real
it's,
thing in real life. Like
yeah.
they make those schedules and shit. So
There's some stuff with that too, but
yeah.
I will be watching some college. I'm very hyped for some random and like really
Okay.
funny is I got a buddy at work that I'm playing. We play a lot and we talk about it from time to time. And he took another Mac school,
You playing
so I was
against each other? You don't have the
no,
online either.
we don't
So
do the online dynasty. If he wants to get smacked up, get at me. I was texting him the other day because he was playing as a different Mac school in his dynasty. I was like, dog, we need to get together for the Mac championship this year, dude. He's like, go to a Mac bar. I was like, nah, dog, we're driving to fucking Detroit.
dude, that would be fun. Dude, fucking I will say that like some of the dudes, some of the old homies that I've got that I follow on social media and stuff that I know are really loving this game, which respect, like they got their whole crew like doing the online thing, like you used to do with men, so with some of the homies or whatever.
Yeah, if I would do it, but man, especially if we were fighting over a recruit, I think things would get pretty evil.
See, but that's just that I mean, yeah, totally. But that shit like that does sound fun though,
Yeah, no, for sure. So, yeah, that's
Right
that's
on.
really that's a really cool option. That's like probably one of the only things that like in the modern era you can really hit home harder. I don't know. I really hope that this is a really solid first showing and that they build and listen to not all of the sickos. Like you're never gonna make them happy, but like really just keep trying to improve the breadth and depth of some of these modes. And it could be an awesome game, dude.
Right on. So you give it a 4 or 5. I give it a 3 of 5. I think the recommendation goes. I think if you've been listening, you probably figured that out for yourself. But if you're a college football sicko, 100% go for it.
Or
If you love men, if you
if you
love
just
football games,
yeah.
sports games, if you got a soft spot for NCAA from the previous ones, obviously send it. If you're sick of Madden and you want to have another football flavor, send it. If that like building the dynasty thing is intriguing, I think for sure. And also the RPG mechanics of the coach, like I think that's cool. It was interesting to me, like traditionally, dude, like I don't like I'll do like for 2K, like I could care less about my like trades and like whereas you get into that kind of shit or like, in this, like I actually cared more about trying to find my recruits than I did playing the actual game.
Al's like,
So
but how are my young men doing in class?
dude, there's some solid memes around like the college experience and the play in this game, which is kind of fun.
It's
But
awesome. There was one meme that was from the Reddit this morning or maybe yesterday, and it was just like I think it was '04. You used to in your Road to Glory mode, you used to
yeah,
have like a girlfriend,
nice.
and like depending on how good you were, like how hot quote unquote your girlfriend was, and it's like bring back girlfriends, you cowards. And I just think that feature would never fly today.
Dude,
Like you
no.
could never, and that just makes the fact that they did that back in the day so funny.
We live in a ridiculous world. All right. Well, with that, man, let's take a little break. Come back for our unsanctioned sponsor.
Hit me with it.
Yo, this month is unofficially brought to you in part by pancakes.
You have a long going theme of just appreciating breakfasts.
I like breakfast,
Do we
dude. This is
just do
good.
we just record on days where breakfast
It's
was
the,
hitting a little harder?
nah, it's the most important meal of the day, bro. We
All
didn't
right.
we haven't just we haven't been unofficially brought to people by just breakfast. Like we've been brought to people by grilling. I mean, bacon's not just a breakfast food, bro. Bacon all the time. You could have
It's true,
BLTs.
but you
I
had
had some
bacon.
fire BLTs lately. That was a dinner.
Did you have coffee and muffins one day? What was that back in
I
the day?
mean, yeah, pastries and coffee. It
Pastries and
was
coffee. I
definitely
mean,
brought to us. But
listen,
you're trying to derail pancakes, dude. And I just want to
no,
say
go off, King.
specifically, I want to say
Flip
specifically
flip those
homemade.
flaps.
I want to say homemade flapjacks, like not just your fucking like little box full of some powder mix that you like bought at the store. I'm talking about very simple, very delicious homemade pancakes, dude. And this is easy to do. 1 cup all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, quarter teaspoon of salt, 3/4 cup of milk. I prefer putting some cream in there.
Betty
You
Crocker in
know,
this bitch. Let's go.
you know. You could do 2 eggs. I just do 1 egg.
Al puts breast milk in there. He winked at me.
So I do 1 egg, 2 tablespoons melted butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then here's a little tip for y'all. You put just like a tablespoon of lemon juice in there to kind of sour the milk a little bit. That's what's up. And then you got to cook that. Oh, by the way, you keep all your dries together in one bowl, all the wets in the other bowl. Then you mix them together slowly. Give that batter. Don't make it
And tenderly.
too.
Yeah.
Don't make it, not too lumpy, but not too smooth either. And then once you got that going, bro, you hit that pan, which you got your butter on there melted, but you want to do it about a medium heat. That's the thing. People try and do that shit too hot. You got to bring that medium heat, start to bubble on the top. You flip those over. Oh, dude, hit the other side. About 2 minutes roughly. fucking delicious, bro. And it's easy. Those basically flour, sugar, milk, egg, and vanilla extract. And if you got that lemon juice, oh, I don't think I mentioned I fuck with not baking powder, but baking soda. So you gotta do a little less of that shit.
Al's gonna have his recipe in the show notes.
I will put my recipe in the show notes. Fucking, I'll tell you, dude.
I have an admission. I have an admission to make. I'm the
You,
primary cook of my household. Like
you never make
90,
pancakes?
maybe once.
Mm. See,
But the wife does. I don't like
mm.
I don't dislike pancakes,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I've
yeah.
never woken up being like, I want pancakes. But
Do it.
if my wife wants pancakes, I like that
Yeah,
she's making me breakfast. So
yeah,
like
yeah.
I'll handle the sausages or something. You gotta have all of the syrup and buttery melted butter syrup pool into your bacon and or sausage. It's a pretty
Ooh.
key experience for me for this whole. And I love some fresh fruit on there as well. So
Oh, nice, nice.
I
Dude, I'm
have
gonna bring the
never
pancake.
ordered pancakes at a restaurant. I mean, I have, but like it's
Yeah.
been 20 years.
Here's the thing, dude. I'm gonna bring
All
this
right.
pancake thing to the next level. Homemade pancakes, of course, unofficially brought to you in part by Homemade Pancakes. I gave you a little recipe, told you how to fucking do it. Just take care of business. Good, delicious treat in the morning. And it's I'm not gonna lie, dude. It's like pretty affordable. Like aside from
Sure.
like the point is beyond household pancakes, because I'm like you. I don't want to order a stack at the restaurant for my meal, bro. That's not what I do. What I like to do though is I like to get that side of pancake. So if I can get like one flapjack, like just add a flapjack to my fucking deal, then I can split that with whomever I'm with. And if I'm with my baby, then he gets to eat some pancake too. He loves pancakes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Toddlers and pancakes. Like toddlers at a restaurant, you're like, how about the grilled cheese? They don't touch it. The chicken nuggets, sort of, not really, just the French fries. Pancakes, they'll fuck them up. So it's actually,
Dude, Big E
and
too.
it
Like I
takes them
tell
a
you,
long ass time to get through it too. So it's pretty tight.
sometimes like my boy Big E, he get that pancake. Dad might sneak him a little bit of syrup on that pancake, but he usually eating a dry pancake. He's still about it, dude. He's still about it.
You don't know. He doesn't need to know.
That's right. He doesn't even know it's
Some
right.
people be giving their kids the sugar. I'm like, wait a minute now. They think this other stuff tastes good. Don't let them know that's ass.
Yeah, I be sneaky though, but I'll do like because I don't like it's like I say dry, but like I'll also like I'll take two pancakes, right? If I'm doing back to the homemade shit, and I'll put butter when they come off the frying pan, I'll put
Oh, of
butter on top,
course.
and then I'll put the second one on there so the butter melts on the two,
Yeah, that's
and
key.
then
You flip it over.
well, dude, yeah, for me, yeah, but for
Yeah.
my boy, like I'll cut one in half because he doesn't need a whole pancake. So I'll cut one in half,
When you have
and
an
then I'll
only
give that to
child.
him. But he got a little. Well, I mean, I love him. He just like he doesn't need all at once. So you get a little butter on that pancake. But anyways, unofficially brought to you in part by Pancakes.
Hell yeah. Side questing. I am fully addicted to
Mm.
NCAA. So
Okay, cool,
playing
cool.
video games hasn't happened too much that isn't that. So I'll be real quick. Hades 2.
Oh yeah,
Jesus Christ, dude. Played it in
pretty good.
front of one of my buddies. Shouts out Tyler. What's up, baby girl? And he was willing to watch it. And then my other buddy, who's another Hades fan, is like, I don't even want to see it because he's bitter and he doesn't want any of it spoiled. So that game, I can't wait for that game to
Yeah,
come
that's
out in
me.
full for everybody. Yeah, but like if I was at your house, you'd watch. No?
Maybe.
All
I
right.
don't. I don't want to know any of the story stuff. I'd like to see how the gameplay works.
Oh, the gameplay's sick. So that's been fun. I've been playing a tiny bit of that. I've been playing a tiniest bit of Ratchet and Clank. But I've been reading a book from my local library, and it's called
Ooh.
The Samurai and the Prisoner.
Okay.
And it's cool. I don't read mystery stuff. It was on the end shelf of suggestions. So I was like, I guess, because I didn't go to the library prepared. And it's been really cool. So
I take it, dude.
recommend. What's up? What you got?
I have been playing a little bit of Gunbrella. I picked up Gunbrella
Ah,
and Gunbrella, the Devolver Digital joint. Shout out Devolver. You
mm,
probably should officially sponsor us at some point in time. But it's tight, dude. It's like the type of game that I really like. It's like that side-scrolling 2D platformer slash like a little bit of shooter thing going on. It's been cool. I've been playing that. And then, I mean, just like little pitter patter of like plugging through Control still. Children of the Sun is another game that I picked up that I like thought would be cool. And honestly, it's I don't like it. It's like the first time I've ever been on the pod and been like, nah, game's not for me. It's just like it's not like everything on the outside looking in. Like, granted, I didn't watch a bunch. I should have watched more gameplay, but it's like it's a little like, and I'm not anti-violence or anything, but it's just like it's a little too over the top in terms of like the repetitive violence and
Mm.
like that whole mechanic of like what you do is you shoot and you have to find the line. The gun like ricochets or whatever, or it doesn't ricochet, but it like changes line and you like basically have to kill everybody in one shot. You'll shoot and then you change direction. You like time slows and then you go to the next one, the next one. But and it's like a super gruesome shot, which is all fine. But the thing is, you have to do it over and over again. So it's just like a little too much, in my opinion. Like
Mm.
for me, anyways, if that makes sense. I'm just like,
This wasn't published by Devolver. Would you have bought it?
probably maybe it was like Triple Click, which is a podcast I listened to from time to time. Like one of the dudes on there was talking about it, and he was like saying it was pretty. He did say it was pretty violent, but he was like, what's his name? Fucking
Kirk.
Kirk.
Yeah.
Kirk was like, he was lauding it a little bit. So I was like, I'll check it out. Because I like the cover art and stuff. Like it does look cool. It's intriguing to me, and I got it for cheap too, so it's whatever.
It
But it's
looks
like
like it could be a cool PC game with gaming
yeah, I've been
mechanics.
playing on the Steamy D, and like it's not for me, man. I played like it's like a puzzler of sorts, but like because it's like so gruesomely violent, like it's like these headshots, which like I'm fine with the headshot, dude. Like whatever, but like if but like I don't know,
That's the
like doing
core
it
loop. It gets repetitive.
right, it's just too much. So
It's
I'm like,
weird
eh.
being an adult and like you don't have to beat the game if you don't want to, unless you're doing a podcast and you're like, God damn it, gotta beat this game. But like the
Mhm.
Star Wars game I was playing, it was fucking sick, but I was just like, yeah. I
Yeah, totally.
was like, yeah, it's cool. Maybe I'll come back to it. And then I was playing Borderlands. I'm gonna go see the movie with Ace. Boing tomorrow.
Boing. Oh, nice.
So I can't
Jealous.
tell you if it's any good, but the internet tells me it's not. But you know what's fun?
Yeah, it's probably good.
Just
It'll be cool, dude.
dude, if you're in the right
Especially if you know Borderlands, like I bet you'll be
and
fun.
I don't know a ton. I've played the games, but I play them with like a podcast playing. I don't fucking listen
Right,
to what's
right.
going on. I just like
Okay.
shooting. Uh, dude, I like a good shitty movie as long as the company's good and the action was occasionally good. So, maybe if I can remember next time we record, I'll report back. But
Right on.
I'm pretty protective of video game movies because I did them bad for
Yeah.
so long that I'm like afraid that they're doing too much and they're doing too weird of selections. Like I would love like to be in a movie exec and be like, "You're gonna make this game?"
Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, Twisted Metal. And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, no one's played one of those since like 2002 on the PlayStation 1.
Dude, I would like to watch this middle. I don't have that streaming service
Is
anymore,
it
but
Paramount?
hey, Paramount Plus, yeah.
Yeah, no, I just got Peacock
Uh,
for the Olympics. I don't know the difference between any of
dude,
them anymore. But
fucking Olympics. Dude, so my other, I mean, it's a huge side quest for me being the Olympics. I watched a shit ton of the Olympics, dude. Fucking almost all the men's basketball, about half of the ladies basketball, bunch of random events, gymnastics you got to watch for sure. Like, Olympics has been great.
yeah,
Um,
gymnastics is I wish I would have watched Made Time for the skateboarding, but
yeah,
the gymnastics is probably my highlight. It was probably the coolest thing I saw.
right on. But yeah, dude, mostly Olympics, honestly. A little bit of that umbrella, and then, dude, I mean NCAA football. When I'm playing, that's what I'm playing.
Summertime doggy. There's lots of
Summertime
stuff
for
to do,
sure. Let
but
me
we'll
tell you
get
this
back on
though,
the horse.
we got a mailbag we got to dig into real quick, bro. So here's the deal. Last episode, we asked folks, text us. If you hit the show notes, you can send us a text. We'll read it on the next pod. Wanted to know what people thought about Luke's take on Tetris being the GOAT. And I'm going to run through those real quick. You ready, dude?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Here we go. This first one from a listener in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Luke is on one. Tetris over everything. That might have came
That's
from my phone number. I don't
yeah,
know.
I was about to say. That sounds just like you.
The rest of these are not for me.
Oh, so that really was you, piece of shit. Continue.
Litchfield, Illinois. Tetris is the GOAT. That's why it's been ported to so many systems and with so many variants. So there you go, bro. Springfield, Missouri. Tetris is the only perfect video game. Heart Josh. So I think that might be from the Still Loading podcast, Josh. I'm not 100% on that, but if that is, check out that podcast. Josh is fucking tight. And if it's not that
Regardless.
Josh, fucking Josh is tight because
Yeah.
he is correct.
Plug it.
New York, New York. Tetris is definitely one of the greatest games of all time. Not number one, but it's up there. Ignore the fact that I'll be 41 in October. I don't want to hear any of Luke's sass on this one.
There's
he
the
needs
truth.
to respect his elders.
There's the truth.
Which I agree. Fuck that shit, Luke.
Yeah.
All right. Here's
Al's
this one
also
from
40.
Golden Valley, Minnesota. The peanut butter and jelly sandwich analogy works. Tetris is great / awesome, but is the PB&J of gaming. Leave it off the list. That's from Michael from Bits of Time. Another great podcast. I think Michael agreed with me, but also didn't agree with me at the same time. So
I was
like,
pretty proud of that PB&J analogy, so at least he dapped me up on that. I'll take that as a dub.
Yeah, shouts out to Bits of Time and Mike.
take
Though.
that as a
Like,
dub.
that's tight. And I'm just gonna I'm gonna say that's a draw, bro. We're gonna give that a draw because I want to
Pretty heavily outweighed here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it was a dub.
This one comes in from Duluth, Minnesota. I agree with Alex's Tetris take, though it's not in my top 10. Yes, Luke, I'm over 40. So, we got some heads coming in telling you the business, and that's just the way it's going to be, bro.
Okay.
This one actually hit us up 3 times in a row. Tetris is better than Luke's opinions. That was the first text. TOTK better than BOTW. Nostalgia for a first time is overplayed out with you fools. Plus, no Portal on your list is ridiculous.
Tyler, you're a buttfuck, dude. You played Breath of the Wild 3 times. Get at me, you little bitch.
And then roughly 13 days later, he came in with new number who dis. Ah, yes. Nonetheless, I like it. See, the people know. The people know that I am correct. The people know if you head to low5gaming.com, there is an invitation to join our Discord. Join us up in there, talking video games, life, all that other fun stuff. If you haven't given us a rating already, hit us with 5 stars, yo. We'd appreciate it. It really helps a lot. And with that, till next time, I'd say bye to Luke, but our recording got cut off, so I'm doing this last bit by myself. Love y'all. Peace.
Greg, what is the worst fraternity on this campus?
That would be hard to say, sir. They're each outstanding in their own way.
Cut the horseshit, son. I got their disciplinary files right here. Who dumped a whole truckload of fizzies into the swim meet? Who delivered the medical school cadavers to the alumni dinner? Every Halloween, the trees are filled with underwear. Every spring, the toilets explode.
You're talking about Delta, sir.
Of course I'm talking about Delta, you twerp! This year it's going to be different. This year we're going to grab the bull by the balls and kick those punks off campus.
What do you intend to do, sir? Delta's already on probation.
They are?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Then as of this moment, they're on double secret probation.
Double secret probation, sir?
There is a little-known codicil in the Faber College Constitution, which gives the dean unlimited power to preserve order in time of campus emergency. Find me a way to revoke Delta's charter. You live next door. Put Niedermeyer on it. He's a sneaky little shit just like you, right? The time has come for someone to put his foot down. And that foot is me.